Go. So this is the spiritual transition game where we transition before we do our Striving for Eternity Academy. Those who watch live give me something to transition to the gospel with, and I take whatever. I have no prep, I do not know ahead of time what's going to be said, and just the imagery of what was posted in the chat room is kind of funny, I guess, and I got to figure this out. But I have to transition from birds that get fried by electricity to the gospel. Now, ask yourself whether you could do that. The reason we play this game is because the more you can transition from crazy things like that to the gospel, the more you realize that you can transition any conversation, make any conversation, bring that into the gospel anytime you want. You don't have to pray, Lord, please give me an opportunity to share the gospel today. You can create that opportunity. So here we go. Birds that get fried by electricity. I don't know, my kids and I always like to see those times where, and you'd see it in the cartoons where all the birds are on the electric wires, and they've all spread out and they take the entire thing, and sometimes you see one thing that sets them off. If you're like me as a kid, you throw a rock just to see them all fly away. But what would happen if there was maybe a cut in the electric wire, and here all the birds are landing on the wire, only to find out, thinking that, hey, they've done this thousands of times before, and never once has there ever been an issue with being fried by electricity. In fact, they have done it so much that they completely trust that the wire not only will hold their weight, but that it is perfectly safe to do so. And the one time that there happens to be a cut in the line and a bird lands on that, he will get fried. I mean, deep fried. If you've ever seen how much electricity goes through some of those power lines, that bird would not survive. And it would basically have put its trust wrongly in something. When we talk about what faith actually is a good understanding of it is the idea of trust. But we can put faith in the wrong things. A bird that's going to put trust or faith in that wire that has an opening is going to put its faith in something wrong. And it is going to pay a dear price. It is going to be electrocuted and dead, deep fried. We need to make sure that we put faith in the right things. We put faith in the chairs that we sit in. But I remember once explaining an illustration of faith being trust, and that we can trust the wrong things. And just as we were explaining that, someone leaned on the arm of the chair and it broke and he fell over. If we put faith in the wrong things, it can have very serious consequences, like a bird on a wire that gets electrocuted. Doesn't matter how many times it did it before. It's that one time that it shouldn't have put trust, because it was not to be trusted, that it paid the price. Same is true for you and I. We need to make sure we put faith in the right thing. And the only thing to really put faith in is someone who cannot lie. Someone who's perfect, someone who's ultimately good. And that's God. Jesus Christ, who came to earth and died on a cross to be a payment of sin, so that we could put our faith in Him, so that we wouldn't be deep fried in hell if we put our faith in ourselves. See, that's ultimately what it's going to come down to. Either we're going to put faith in ourselves, or we're going to put faith in Christ. Where is your faith today? And that's how I would transition from a bird being electrocuted or bird being deep fried by electricity to the gospel. How would you go about doing it?